Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. I'm Christina. I'm glad you're here. Welcome to a Monat team call where the top distributors are talking money. They are getting so desperate that they need to flaunt their wealth and that they need to make income claims they cannot make because they are so desperate to keep people on their teams in a failing network marketing company. This is a team call from Ivy and Julie Stevens, and we're talking numbers. Thank you to the person who sent this my way. Let's not have a long intro. Let's get right into this baby. A team call from Ivy and Julie speaking facts, how much money you can make in Monat, a dying network marketing company. But let's listen to this one. I have my water ready, I have my coffee ready. I have a new light setup. It was my birthday in March, and one of my wishes was to have more powerful LEDs. So I'm currently setting this up. It's looking good, hopefully. And I'm also, by the way, wearing my favorite shirt. All of the different faces of Garfield. That is me in a shirt. Happy, sad, angry, moody, sleepy, hungry, hangry, filming, Christina. Let's take a look at this baby. Let's get right into it. I sped it up a little bit at 1.25. I haven't watched the entire team call yet. I just took a couple of sneak peeks. So let's get started. I'm excited. Are you excited? I'm excited. I'm wearing a Garfield shirt, the cutest thing on planet Earth. I'm having a coffee, a new light setup, and then we're having a Monat team call where we're talking numbers. Let's go.
Payday. But I'm still letting everybody in here, hitting record. Oh, there we go. We got it. Okay. There's Miss Julie herself. Also, you guys, I have been playing music at the beginning of my calls for like, I don't know, 6 months or so before I realized that you guys can't even actually hear the music on my calls. But anyways, we're going to get started. Thanks for joining Millionaire Society, you guys. I know for me, when I first started, hitting $1 million or even
Millionaire Society. How many millionaires, actual millionaires, are on this call when the entire company has not even brought out 200 people who have joined the MDC clubs? How is that? How? Millionaire Society. Great start.
thinking in that capacity was really hard for me to process. I kind of put it way off in the distance, like, oh, that's just for those other people that are successful. That's just for everyone else. That's not for me. While we're waiting for everyone to hop on, if everyone could put in the chat where they're watching from. Where are you watching from? Are you in Southern California? Are you in Georgia? Are you in Colorado where Miss Julie is? Let me find Julie while you guys are.
I'm in Berlin and I'm not in my closet, which I guess is a plus. Why is she doing team and opportunity calls out of her closet? I reacted to a call from her as well not too long ago. I will link it up here if you want to take a look. It's also in the Monat playlist that will be linked somewhere in this video. Why is she filming from her closet? Doesn't she have the ability? I mean, she has 3 gazillion children and I think she's pregnant at the moment. Maybe she doesn't have a lot of free time or free space trying to save her Monat business. Why is she always in a closet? That's kind of weird. Maybe I should film out of my closet at some point. There's lots of cat hair in there. My niece's cats haven't been here for a while, but their cat hair is still in the closet because that was one of their favorite spaces. They're like, oh, look, the door is open. What's this? Sweaters, t-shirts. That's why there's a lot of cat hair. Maybe I should also film from my closet. Stay tuned.
Let me find Julie while you guys are typing in the chat. There she is. Let's see. There.
Well, hello.
Hello. We're just going to get right into it.
The subtle background of her multi-million-dollar mansion.
You guys are awake. Germany is sleeping. Canada, they're going right into their dinner time as well. But Julie, thank you so much for taking the time and just being here with us, with our team. I hope some of your girls can join us as well. But I was so blown away by hearing you speak at Leadership Experience, just kind of hearing some of your stories that I was like, I need to message her. I really want her to speak to our team. You guys, if you don't know, Julie is our upline. She's up there, but she's also someone that I have, often reached out to, and she was always available to me. She always responded to my messages, was always helpful, helped me through different mindset things that I was struggling with. And she's just amazing. But one of the things that she said at Leadership Experience was she was talking about her first check.
Yeah, nobody cares. Julie Stevens is not a great human, in my opinion. She's not talking to each and every person on her team. She's talking to the people on her team, even though she's somebody's upline, who have big teams. And Ivy was not doing so well, but then she really blew up with the launch of Australia. Ivy is somewhere under Krista Parney, just to give you perspective. So she blew up because she blew up in Australia. Did Julie Stevens had a lot of time for you before? No, she didn't. I think that Julie Stevens is not horribly wonderful, in my opinion. She will focus on the people that bring her money. She will focus on the people that have bigger teams. Then, when she starts to recognize you. At some point on these calls, I think it was Ivy who said, well, if you hit the car rank, that's when I see you. That's when I recognize you. If that is the sentiment on somebody on Julie Stevens' team, where is that coming from? What do you think? If you're a small light in this pyramid, one person, you will not get Julie Stevens' attention. Sorry, I don't believe that. You need a big team and you need to make her a lot of money and secure her spot at the top. Otherwise, she will not talk to you.
We can make some corn. Can you go get it out of the fridge? Get it out of the fridge and get it ready for me. Um, One of the things she said was her first check was 300, and then I'll let her share her check that she was sharing at Leadership Experience, considering this is called Millionaire Society. But she talked a lot about all the things that she did when she first started and how she just literally ran with basically no breaks and she didn't stop. And I think it's something that's so admirable. It's something that in this day and age, there's so many people out there who are anti-hustle culture. And it's like anything that is worth having, you guys, in life, whether it's a good marriage, whether it's a healthy family, whether it's children who are being raised the way that you want them to, it's going to take hard work. It takes hard work. It takes going against the grain. It takes doing things differently than other people are doing. But I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to pass it over to Miss Julie, who is gracing us with her time. And take it away, girl.
How are you doing things differently, though, in a network marketing company when you have to work 24/7? Everybody always claims you need to hustle hard. So how are you doing anything different? It's just toxic hustle culture in the hopes that you will be successful, because most people in network marketing, most people in Monat are not financially successful. Most people in Monat, most people in network marketing companies lose money. So how are you any different by promoting that? You're not.
Take it away, girl.
Girl. She's a woman.
Oh, you're muted.
Okay, how much time are you wanting me to take up here?
I don't know, 7 to 10 minutes. Most of the
Okay.
things are moms at dinner time. You know what I mean?
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Well, thanks guys for being on. Hi, I see people from all over the world and that's really, really awesome. So thanks for taking the time. You guys, when I was blowing up my business, every single time I blow up my business, it's because I plug in so often. And I always say your business is built from like event to event. So treat your calls like the event. Like, what are you doing in between there? Get fired up on the calls and then go back to work. Anyway, so hi, I'm Julie Stevens. I currently live in Colorado. I have been with the company for 10 years. Love this. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life. I have taken time off and I didn't love the person who I was becoming when I took time off. And you guys, I started like tracking the things that I was doing that made me really love who I was. And in return, it really made my paycheck blow up. So I'm going to tell you guys how to win in both factors. But I'll share a little bit about my story. My first check in the business, you guys, my first week, I signed up 6 girls. I did not have the money to get started. I had 2 negative checking accounts. I had 1 thing of ramen noodle soup in my pantry for my 7-year-old. So when I say I was broke, I'm not even kidding. It was really broke. I got a payday loan with a 60% interest rate. And you guys, I got on the phone and I was literally calling all of my broke friends. You are the average of the 5 people you hang out with. So if you're broke, everyone else is broke too. You should say yes. And you should keep saying yes to this because it takes a while for your circle of friends to change, right? You're going to attract those people who are broke for a while or wherever they were. That's who I was calling. Everyone had to borrow the money. I signed up 6 girls. Everyone I signed up, everyone. My little spiel was basically, I was repeating what I had heard that made me say yes. I was like, it's a big company, it's hair care, there's no competition, it's really big, there's founder shares, there's all these things. And if you say yes, I will help you to earn your first check. You get me on the phone with 2 people, I will do the explaining for you. Let's go. Like, get me on the phone with them tonight. That's my conversation. I would tell them how I got started, how I took like a payday loan to get started. And you guys, I hadn't even made a check yet before I was telling people that I was going to make a check.
So she lied to people. Thank you for admitting to that. And let's also remember when she started 10 years ago. That was in pre-launch phase, very likely, of Monat. Monat is 10 years old. In this autumn, they will be 11 years old. She launched right at the beginning, and that's why she was able to sign up 6 people within a week and get what she would very likely have considered back then a significant paycheck. She is one of the first market partners who ever joined. Let's not forget that when she tells us her success stories. Well, I will make sure we don't forget that.
Like, I just believed it. I was like, if one person tells me yes, the company's apparently going to pay me this amount of money. In 6 days, it turned into 80 people. 80. We did $24,000 in team sales. We closed out September, 30th? October 1st, they flew me to Miami to go launch the company. And you guys, I had no idea what I was getting involved in.
So she started in pre-launch phase, and then in October she got flown out to Miami. How can anyone relate to the story when those MLM dinosaurs, no disrespect, has nothing to do with her age, just her joining 10 years ago, how can anyone relate to those stories? You could not today set up a party with Monat products, not even here in Germany, and say, why don't you buy the product? This is going to be the most amazing company, the bestest products. This is really market leader, and people wouldn't call BS because the news has traveled. It's a network marketing company. Not a good opportunity if you really want to make money. Oh, and it's Monat? No, I don't think so. Most people in this day and age do not want to support network marketing companies. So what she experienced 10 years ago, I said I would remind us all that she joined that long ago, is not comparable to what people experience in this day and age. It is a lot harder to sell the opportunity and the product because there's awareness that it is Monat, a bad company, overpriced product, lawsuits are out there, network marketing, predatory business model. You know the spiel.
At first, I thought it was sex trafficking because I was like, there's no way this new hair care company is flying me to Miami and going to pay me. Okay, this is like too good to be true. I was like, it's unreal. It's not real. Short story. They told me how much my check was that week.
That's a great way to talk to your team. So this is an internal call, not one that she publicly put out on social media herself. Do not compare your company to sex trafficking. Just saying that's not a great idea.
It was $3,850. In 6 days, you guys, my life completely transformed. The day before I got that check, we were flying there, and Anne was like, Jules, if you work your business like you have this week, in 3 years, you won't recognize your life. In 3 years of me doing some events, you guys, I'm telling you, events like were my biggest thing because I didn't have social media. I still don't. Go look. I don't have social media. I don't get that many views. I just now got a comment in my first TikTok views. So I'm pretty pumped about that. But in the meantime, I've made $17 million. So while you guys are trying to do social media stuff, build your business with people. People is your foundation. Because I offered my help of offering like, hey, I'll explain what the business is. That's all I was doing. And I was just helping my girls do it. And then I was like, if you want to wash hair, I will show up and help. I would drive 3 hours one way to go help 2 girls get their hair washed. I would jump on a plane and fly if they had more than 10 people there. I was on 4 to 6 flights a week or a month. I was so hungry. You guys, the first couple of years, I did really well. But whenever I started logging and tracking things in my planner, this is my 2017 planner, okay? You know how valuable it is to have a planner that you can actually tell your team, I didn't get lucky. These are the numbers we did. This is why, this is how many people I talked to. I was so busy, right? I was just doing the things. I had so much fun.
This is her planner from 2017. She joined Monat 2014. She was in the company already for 3 years. Good timing. You got lucky. Yes, you also have to put in work, but you still got lucky. She joined during the pre-launch phase of a network marketing company that blew up afterwards, that is now dying. She got lucky. Okay? 10 years ago, that's when she joined. That is luck.
It was tiring. So if you do this, your self-care needs to go up with the level of your extremity with making a check. They didn't tell me that. I would crash. I would like recover for like a couple weeks and then I'd get back at it. But I'm telling you guys, you don't have to do it the way I did. We can do it smarter now. Like, so as you do this, self-care is very important, okay? Because you have to serve yourself before you can serve your team or your family. And that is the most important thing. And I learned that. And then, oh my gosh, we really exploded because then the fun factor really came in. 3 years later from the day that I was in Miami, Anne said I wouldn't recognize my life. You guys, 3 years later, don't share the number publicly. It's just not even good for business. It's good for like privately telling people in DMs like I do with Ivy, this is my check. You know what I mean? But to post it publicly, if you post this number, people are going to say, yeah, I thought you were full of crap, and they're going to move on. Okay. That week, my monthly paycheck was $300 and hold on. I just show you because $336,000. You guys, in a month. Do you know why I made this money? You know why it was so important for me to make this money?
I know why she made that money, because she had a big team, and that was during the peak time in Monat. Although the peak time very likely was 2019 when COVID hit. That's when they blew up even further. 300,000 in 1 month. You are not allowed to post this publicly because Monat says you cannot post this publicly. Although at the moment I have a feeling that Monat doesn't care. They allow their market partners to do everything because so many people are leaving Monat. Fortunately, I'm still waiting for the second half of the income disclosure statement from 2024. Still waiting on that one. That's why you cannot post it. Not because it's not realistic, It is not realistic, and you have to post the income disclosure statement showing that most people lose money while you made $300,000 allegedly in that month. Your own company says for compliance reasons you're not allowed to do so. And this is somebody who's at the top of the compensation plan and doesn't even understand compliance in their own company. Well, that's a good sign.
At the time, when I first got started, I was living in an apartment. I wanted to get a house. I couldn't get a loan for $300,000. Okay. In the United States, that's a fairly good, decent house. Okay. Where you're not in the ghetto getting shot up. And I have lived in those locations before. Yeah. You guys, $331,000. He printed out these little checks for us, like what 3 years difference can make. So I'm telling you right now, if you put your head down and go to work, what would happen in 3 years? Like, there is so much possibility here. And I don't share this with you guys to brag. I share this with you guys because I was so determined that if my friends were succeeding, I was going to succeed. I had no other goal other than to make my friends money. Like, that was it. I wanted directors because I knew directors were going to make upwards of $10,000, $20,000 a month. I was like, well, I need girls making director money. That is like how people pay the bills. That is like really how people get by. That is how they can help out their family.
Her BS makes my new light system give up. I need to charge it, that's why. So I'm going to, pardon me, I need to charge this. This is the 6th video I filmed today. So that's why this baby needs to be charged. But I stand by what I said. This BS, her BS made my light system give up. I might need to adjust this one. Excuse me. Well, that went well, didn't it? What was the BS that made my light set up? Oh yeah, I need directors. I need people on my team who make $10,000 a month. You need directors on your team if you want to keep the top spot, because you need people who are the director ranks. Otherwise, you're not able to keep your own spot. Otherwise, you yourself are not able to make that much money. That's why you need people on your team. You need people on your team to even make that money. You cannot rank up in Monat if you don't have people on your team. That's why you need people on your team. That's why she needs directors on her team, because otherwise she cannot hold her spot as a senior executive director, because everybody is stacked underneath each other. And if those people break away or walk away because they don't make enough money, as we have seen over the past years now, then she is at a loss as well. That's why she needs directors on her team who allegedly make tens of thousands of dollars. That is highly unrealistic for most people. Last year, a huge group of Monat people left to multiple network marketing companies and said, hey, I'm a leader, I'm in the top 50, and I made some $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. How can you speak about success in this company if most people don't even make somewhat of a livable income anymore? Which of course is very entitled if you're still at the top rank. But for those who are alleged success stories, no, you need to make a lot more. She needs directors on her team, otherwise she cannot keep her top spot. That's it.
Their parents if they need to. Like, you guys, I remember one month when I was striving for this check. And by the way, because I couldn't get approved, I went and made the cash. Every single time I would make another check every month, I was like, Josh, we don't need the loan. So I built a $1.3 million house. And I think I got a $200,000 loan on it. I built the rest with cash during the build. Every single time I'd go back to the house meeting, the lady's like, what are you doing? Like, what? You can't. And she would literally treat me like I couldn't afford it, which in the end made me like, ooh, like want to do it even more. I would be like, no, I want this $40,000 rock staircase. Anyway, so it was just like my determining factor. I wanted a home. I wanted a home so bad. I wanted a bathroom that I can walk into and just be like, I feel like a woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted that feeling. I couldn't afford mascara before Monat. I couldn't afford new razors.
How relatable is that? I walk into my bathroom and I feel like a woman. And my bathroom might not be up to her standards. It might be. I don't know her standards. I don't know her bathroom. She doesn't know my bathroom. What is that? I walk into each and every room in my home and I feel like a woman. I can walk into the basement and feel like a woman.
That was not a part of my factors, you guys. It was groceries and pay the bills. That was it. My first friend that I ever messaged, I didn't even know this. When I messaged her, she got a letter in her mail for foreclosure on her home that day. She didn't tell me for a year. She didn't want me to know. How many of your friends are going through that and we're not telling them about this? You guys, this company has completely changed my life, and it's not the money. What this company did for me was I was able to practice a skill that even I could do. I flunked out of college. I didn't even get my GED until after I was married. I dropped out of school in the 6th grade. I couldn't read until the end of my 4th grade year. If you guys have kids, can you imagine? You guys, I should not be in the position I'm at. I am not skillful. I don't have like the influence. I had hard work, and I just had the willingness to help someone else tell them about this. And that was it. So I'm telling you guys, if you push really, really hard, you can have anything that you want. Anytime someone told me I couldn't have that, I worked hard, hard, hard to get it.
She is horrible. Unfortunately, she's also one of the people I believe that are truly brainwashed and actually believe that she's helping other people. She is almost in tears. On those calls, she is regularly in tears, either because it's very performative on those team calls or because she genuinely believes that. And I believe that she is genuinely brainwashed. And I believe that she believes that Monat is a great opportunity. But that is why she and her pitches is so dangerous. My friend's home was in foreclosure. We were in debt. I couldn't even afford groceries. I was broke. I couldn't... We're catering to the poorest of the poor. I didn't have the money to join Monat. If you don't have the money now, don't you worry. Everybody can do it. But that is not true. Let's not forget, she joined Monat over 10 years ago during the pre-launch phase. And that is why she was able to make millions. Unfortunately, most of the people that she encountered in that business opportunity, according to Monat's own documentaries, their own statements, their own income disclosure statements, they lost money so that she was able to make money, so that she was able to make a profit. It's not a story of success. It's actually a very sad story. And her potentially really believing that she helped other people is just wrong. She didn't. She is very likely responsible for the financial downfall of most people that are on her team.
Because I'm the type of person who, if you tell me I can't do something, I'm going to do it. So that is my story. That is what I have done in the last 10 years in this business. But you guys, that wasn't just a one-time increment. That was in 2017 to 2018. In 2018, my checks kept going up from that 300. You guys, I made $3.4 million that year. What would you do with that kind of money? Pay off multiple homes? Like literally, I could retire today and I would never have to worry about money again.
Yeah, I don't believe that. Although she claims that her husband has invested the money very well, she was not available on social media. We in the anti-MLM community, anti-MLM creators, didn't see her for the most part. The same was true for Ann Fisher. Anne, that was the person she referred to before, and Tony Van Choik, who was the first network marketer in Monat. We didn't see those for years. They weren't on opportunity calls. They weren't on their social media. They weren't on team calls much. But at some point, they had to come out of the woodworks. At some point, they had to crawl out of their caves and they had to start talking to people again. And now, because Monat is not doing well, after the pandemic, Monat has really been in free fall. They bulked up their pyramid during the pandemic because they were able to make other people believe, hey, it's really such a rough situation in the world right now. You need to make extra money. Come to us. You're physically safe. It's a great opportunity. They were able to bulk up without doing much, their pyramid, and then afterwards people dropped out just as quickly. And they are suffering from that ever since. That is why she experienced more income in 2017, 18, and 19, and then shit went down. Let's say it like this.
I have multiple lands I pay cash for. I tell my girls pay cash because don't ever let anybody tell you your credit score is not good enough. Don't pay interest to people, pay cash. Whenever you earn your Cadillac, strive to go cash. You guys, when they entered the Cadillac program, I was building my home, okay? Could not hit my credit score.
Most people who are at the Cadillac rank, the market mentor rank, cannot even afford that car. Let's take a look at Monat's latest income disclosure statement. That is the latest one that I currently have when I'm filming this video, and that is the one from the first half of 2024, from January till May. Market Mentor. The median annual gross earnings at that rank currently are $21,000. The highest is $134,000. The average annual gross earnings is $27,000, and the lowest earning was $8,220. How come that you think somebody who makes barely $20,000 before expenses and before taxes is able to pay for a freaking Cadillac? Who believes that these people are able to pay for their Cadillac in cash? They're not. Paychecks are down. The opportunity is down. Most people cannot relate to her experience because she got lucky and she joined 10 years ago.
I could not go get a car. So Josh is like, you got to pay cash. I'm sorry. I was making like $20,000 a month at the time. I was like, dang. Okay. Yeah. A couple months later, my checks were $77,000. And I left them in my Mo Money account without touching it for like 60 days.
She said she was at the time making $20,000 when she was able to get the Cadillac in a month. Now that's the amount most people make at that level in a year. And now you tell me again that Monat is a great business opportunity. Well, it's obviously not. She claims she made $20,000 a month, and at that rank, that is now the average income across all people in that rank per year. Thanks for admitting that Monat is failing. Great to watch this call.
And Senior Luis messaged me. He's like, you know, you have money in there, right? And I said, yeah, baby, I'm going to go pay cash for a Cadillac and my husband a brand new truck. And I did with cash. You guys make your stories. You have the power. All it takes is the communications, the connections, the sales. Sell this product like crazy, like help this company blow up. If you want something to do well, you in return have to bless it, and God's going to bless it too, but you got to do the hard work. So every day, say a prayer over your business. That's my biggest tip. Pray for God to put the people in front of you who need this.
Wow, faith manipulation. And Senor Luis, that's the co-owner of Monat, that is the person who yells at women leaving Monat, calling them whores because the paycheck is down and they want to make more money in other companies. That's the kind of person we're aligning ourselves with a man, an old dude who calls women whores. Yeah, no. Well, sign me up because Monat is also now in Germany, so I'm gonna start as well.
Pray for your team and thank him for this amazing opportunity, even if you haven't made a check yet, because you guys, I'm telling you, when it clicks for you, it's gonna click. And you need to utilize that fuel that God's giving you like rocket fuel.
Excuse me, what? I mean, she's truly brainwashed. Thank the Lord for your team and for your paycheck, even though you have not made one? Absolutely not. Wow. She is really, she's far gone. She will drown with Monat. I know that's all right. Because according to herself, she doesn't have to work a single day in her life anymore. I don't believe that because I think that she has expenses that she didn't have before, and that's why she came out of her cave. That's why she came back and she actually had to pitch Monat again. Because she has a certain lifestyle, she's gotten used to that lifestyle, and let's be realistic, she is not able to retire for herself, her husband, and her child. And that's why she needs to do this.
Use all of it up at the same exact time. Condense all your big activities into one. Throw the fire all together. Stay in your team chats. Don't separate. If you guys can get together, do it. This is real money. This is real lives being changed. And you guys have one of the best leaders in the world with Ivy. So just grab her coattails and run with her because she will take you guys to the top if you want this. If it takes you 10 years to get there, isn't it worth it? So anyway, I'm all here for you guys.
10 years of burnout. 10 years of spending a lot of money to maybe get something in return. No, it's not worth it. And who actually believes that Monat will be around in 10 years? Not me.
I'm cheering you guys on and I really want you guys to blow up. And I know most of you guys are, so I'm so proud of you. Thanks for your time, Ivy. Thank you guys.
Thank you so much, Julie. Something that you said in the beginning that I want to touch on really quick is you said, I don't know exactly what you said. I should have wrote it down. But you said, I exploded my business multiple times. And I think that's something that people need to hear, as well as never expecting one person to carry your business. I mean, since I have been here, I have seen a couple people come and go, right, that were close to you or direct to you. Sorry, I'm meeting people that were close to you or direct to you, and you never stopped. It was like you never flinched. You didn't stop moving. You didn't stop doing what you're doing. And so I'd love to hear you kind of explain what you mean by exploded your business multiple times, and then two, why you think the events, even with two people, made such the difference for you.
And that's the woman who's supposed to bring me to the top, who's in her closet on team calls, who has to work while catering to her children. Why is she not able to just ask her husband to take care of her children and ask him or help or the nanny or whoever it is to take care because she has now to work? That's not a kind of business I want to run, and that's not a kind of person I want to learn from. If you don't have time to sit down and talk to me and actually focus on trying to sell me on the Monat, on this great opportunity, and you're distracted and you're in a closet, then I have a problem. I'm not listening to you. Sorry.
Yeah, for sure. So you guys, every time I got stuck in my business, I need another MMB. I need my GV. I need another director. That's always something you need. Okay. And that's just the way the world goes around, right? It's just a circle. It's not an energy sucker. It's a cycle. Okay. You're just cycling people. Every time I got stuck,
No, that's not normal. That is just normal in network marketing companies where people are stacked on top of each other. And if you are somewhere in the middle to upper ranks in a network marketing companies, according to their compensation plans, you need a certain amount of people on your team, and those people need to hit certain ranks. And that's what she is referring to. That is not normal. And that is why it is not worth sticking it out, even if it takes 10 years, because you're going to work yourself into burnout. She admitted to that. That's how she ran her business in the very beginning. She's constantly speaking, constantly traveling now in the name of money, trying to save this drowning network marketing company. That is not worth it.
I found my biggest runners every single time, you guys. And it wasn't one recruit. It was usually out of 10 to 15 over a 90-day period of time of me just like, whoa, I need some people, not frustrated in my appearance or anything, but like knowing I got to get to work, right? So this has happened multiple times. This happened a year, or no, the first time it happened was 2 months into my business. Can you believe it? After I was doing so good, I was like, I'm quitting. Yeah. Month 2, I said I was quitting. Okay. Month 4, I said, this is the last event I'm ever going to. I quit. I was literally the worst market partner. Okay. I said I would quit so many times. And my friends were always like, you would be insane to quit. And I'm like, well, I deserve, I'm worthy. I should, you guys, I had so many things deep down in my head that I wasn't really speaking, but I felt it. I was like, no, I work really hard. I made $7,000 last month. I should make $7,000 next month. Right. I had that attitude. Yeah. I didn't know that if you dropped from MMM to MM, you only got paid 2 generations. So I just had to learn, right? Whatever. So hit AED in 5 or 6 months. I go SED within like a year. I mean, like that was rough. It was hard, really rough. Took me 18 months to get there. I got to SED and then I lost my SED rank, never hit it again, got stuck. And then I lost my GV at the end of my 1-year mark of losing my SED title. And all the other people are doing better than me. Okay. And my checks are actually dropping below other people at this time. And I'm about to go from like $20,000 a month and providing for my mom and dad $5,000 a month that they needed. Okay. Plus my taxes. Okay. And I'm about to lose that check, 90% of it, because I'm about to lose my GV and get paid as like an MMP. Okay. Because my GV was at 900. Okay. I almost quit then too.
If you don't know about this terminology, those are all ranks. SED, Senior Executive Director, AED, Associate Executive Director, MM, Market Mentor, Managing Market Builder, that's the MMM rank. It just shows that even for somebody who joined in pre-launch phase, it took her 1.5 years to reach the highest rank in the company. That's the easiest thing to do when you join a new network marketing company, and even for her, took her 1.5 years. And then her paychecks crumbled. Just shows that network marketing is not sustainable, not even for her. She is currently at the top, but not necessarily just because of her own efforts and her own business. She joined during the pre-launch phase. She had it easier than others. And last year, when Monat's first market partner got terminated, she pretty much got handed 1/3 of the team from corporate. That is why very likely she's still at the top of the compensation plan. But that is something we're not hearing. But even for her, this business was not stable. So she made $20,000 in a month. And she had to take care of her husband, her daughter, herself, and her parents. That is why this is so dangerous. And that is why it is so predatory to advise people, hey, why don't you retire your spouse? Because your paycheck can drop from 1 month, $20,000 to $5,000. And you need to finance the life of 5 people. Not sustainable, not a great business opportunity. It just shows it yet again. And she is at the top. She is one of the most successful people in Monat. And even she struggles with that. She bulked up her pyramid, her downline, because she got handed 1/3 of the team from Monat's first market partner after that person got terminated. Let's also not forget that.
One of those people I signed up though in the next 14 days was one of y'all's uplines. You guys wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for that hard day that I faced, that hard month that I faced. You guys, I hope you get the hard times. I hope you get smacked in your face where you're like, okay, I feel like I'm going to quit. Like, I can't do this. When you feel like you're about to give up, that's when you give it to God. And that's when God can start working. When you feel like you have nothing left, that's when he does things. And I'm telling you, he does the most amazing things. And he'll send you people that you didn't even know you needed in your life. I hope the hard times come to you. You guys, I hit so many walls. I remember crying in my closet so many times was like, I just want this so bad. I just want to provide for my family.
And now she's crying in her living room. Well, what a change, except that she's making more money. More red flags. If you want to quit on a bi-weekly or monthly basis, you might need to question what's going on, because then there's something wrong. It's completely normal to feel overwhelmed and to be close to tears because it's rough times. But not that regularly to the degree that you want to quit every other month. That is not normal. In that case, something is wrong.
Dang it, I want my husband home. I wanted my husband home so freaking bad. I would have done anything, like anything. And I did. I did everything. Went on the flights. If there was 5 people there, I'd show up. You guys, one of my girls was stuck too. And I told her, I was like, look, my other girls are doing good. If you start hosting events, I think you'll do okay too. She hosted an event and one girl showed up. One girl, she was already a VIP. My friend goes out to the parking lot, hits her knee, starts crying. She's like, you wasted your time. You came here. I knew this wasn't going to happen for me. And I said, you don't know what that's going to do for you. A couple weeks later, that VIP converted to a market partner. 6 months later, she was her MMM. What are the events doing for you? If you don't treat everyone like they're your $1 million earner, they won't be. You have to believe in them first. Anne believed in me. So I was like, okay, I trust her. So if your leader's believing in you, allow them to, and just start borrowing their belief, because they see something that you have already and you're not going to make it up. It's not like you're just going to like grow fairy wings. You've already got the fairy dust inside.
They see something in you. The story proves that they saw nothing. Oh, there was just one person. It's already a VIP. And then that person signed up later, and that person then was a runner, at least for a short period of time, because very likely that person is not in Monat anymore. What you saw were potential dollar signs, and not that your recruits have potential, because you would recruit every single person, whether they have hair, whether they're of age or not. I mean, there are certain legal requirements they have to follow. But what did you see? You saw nothing, and your story just proves it. The person on her team saw nothing and was discouraged. They didn't see any leader possibilities or opportunities in that VIP. You're seeing dollar signs, the hopes of the opportunity of dollar signs coming your way. You would just recruit every single person. If you could, you would recruit animals.
They're just sometimes going to like get you to maybe take a look at it and start using your talents. You guys, and most of us, our biggest talent is just our heart that we want to help people. So go share that with people. But every time you get stuck, God's about to line you up really big. So I want you to know that I'm really glad I didn't give up. Just a couple of years ago, I wanted to give up too, you guys. This is going to happen so many times. But what would I give up for?
Why wanted she to give up a couple of years ago? That was after the pandemic, that was after her paychecks crumbled, that was after she questioned the ethics of Monat when paychecks were down and her team was leaving. That's when she wanted to leave. But luckily now, she got handed a third of Tony Van Choik's team.
What else would I do? This is my family. This is my life. I love doing how I perform because I feel like I'm performing as a better person, you know? So I fell in love with the process, and I fell in love with the hard because I knew what the hard would do for me. It molds you to grow into the person that's going to be able to receive that check. You don't get the team first. You grow as a person first, and then the paycheck will follow. So I don't know. I don't know if that helps you guys a little bit, but
well, no, it doesn't help because that's obviously not true. How did she grow as a person when back then she was crying in her closet? And now she's doing the very same thing, faith manipulation and crying in her mansion. Personal development, my ass.
Dude, retiring my husband, that was worth all the sleepless nights. That was worth skipping meals. That was worth being scared at some of the hotels I stayed at, you know, like by myself. I remember I flew to Atlanta and one guy's like,
Wow, this is getting better and better. How predatory. Well, if you're not comfortable, if you feel unsafe, it is worth pushing through because your Monat business might blow up. Excuse me? All of the sleepless nights, so don't take care of yourself, don't feed yourself, it might all be worth it. I mean, I am so glad that you sent me this team call. It is absolutely ridiculous. How horrible must it be to be on that person's team? Don't take care of yourself, just cater to the business, to a drowning network marketing company, and all will be well. And if you feel unsafe, it might be worth it. Well, you might end up killed somewhere in the middle of nowhere. Your body parts spread all over the country, but it might be worth it. You know, generational wealth, shampoo dealer, go Monat.
Line you up with all these events, and you guys, I went into like 50 meetings in 4 days. First time I ever wore heels and slacks in my life. I put on a white button up and I was going to be a different person that day. I was going to be the rep that was going to perform in Atlanta, Georgia. That was my big girl day. I did all those meetings. I was so scared walking back to my freaking hotel, parking in a garage at night, downtown Atlanta. I have these stories and I'm grateful for them. You know, because the what would have happened if I would have never taken the chance at the first one, and then maybe not the second, maybe not the third. That's where your team is. It's whenever you get to see them. So I challenge you guys, after COVID and after technology has advanced so much, don't let AI take our jobs, please. Get face to face with people if you can. Even if it's Zoom, it's okay. Just remember that people are the reason why we're here in this business. And that's what makes network marketing so special. And that's what makes Monat so special, is the leadership that we have here. So yeah, I love you guys. So anyway, thanks. Sorry for crying on you. I wasn't expecting to cry.
She cries on every team call. Of course, you expect to cry. You're a crybaby. You're just crying in a bigger house now. That's it.
Okay, we like that around here. Okay. You know, we got a bunch of kids and babies. There's always crying somewhere going on. Anyways, thank you so much, Julie. I think it's so good for people to hear, as someone successful as you, that, you know, $17 million did not come easy. $17 million didn't come without doing events, without doing the hard, without rebuilding, you guys. There's a lot of people that, you know, I have always tried to stay in the mindset. I'm always rebuilding every single month. Every single month when it's the first of the month, I got to go find new MMPs. I got to go find them. I got to build a new MMB. I got to build a new MM. And that's always my mindset. And I'm so grateful for you sharing the hard in your business, Julie, because it lets us all know that, like, you know, when we hit that speed bump, when we hit that tough spot in the road, that there's something good on the other side of it. And I just want to add to what Julie just shared, in that, you know, I was stuck in my business, you guys. I was stuck in my business. I was at MMM. I could not seem to get to director. I was MMM for a year. I actually think it was like 14, 15 months. I was stuck at this rank. However, that year, just a second, baby. That year, I promoted out 13 MMPs because I was looking for my next runner, you guys. I was looking for my next runner. And guess what? I found my next runner at the park, you guys. She was another mom. Both of our kids were the same ages at the time. We each only had 2 at the time, which is crazy. And you guys, she is the largest Germany team right now. And just like Julie said, when you hit that rough patch in your business, you got to go out and find that next runner. You got to go out and do the next thing. You got to get in a vicinity of people and go meet your next person. And that's exactly what happened. I ran into Amanda at the park. We became friends. I, of course, invited her to do this business. She said absolutely not. Told me she wasn't going to do it. Told me it wasn't for her. She was also telling me at the time that she was going to move into an RV and save all of her money. And she was selling all of their furniture. She had no furniture in her house, you guys. Again, kept telling me no, kept telling me no, kept telling me no. And I kept saying, like, come do this business. Just come do this business with me. Come do this business with me, you guys. And she did. And right now, you guys, she's blowing up like crazy. She, like I said, has the largest team in another country, a mom of 5. She just had her 5th baby. She has a newborn at home. And she is blowing up in another country. Okay.
She's blowing up in Germany because she was able to recruit one person, or rather, let's say, maybe somebody stacks a lot of German people under Amanda, the success story that she's referring to, the very religious person who also has a gazillion children. She was able to recruit a person in Germany who was in a former network marketing company, who has a huge following on social media, and that is why within a week she was able to recruit over 130 people in Germany. On top of that, at the time of this team call, Germany and Belgium were still in pre-launch phase. You were only able to recruit people. But now the real deal begins, because now the huns either need to start to purchase their own products because they have monthly sales requirements, and most of them have already recruited all of their customers, or they need to find actual customers. And Amanda, the person she referred to, she was able to hit the AED rank, and then she dropped in ranks. And now, because it is important for some of her uplines, Ivy, that she stays at the director rank, she is kindly placing people left and right. That is the alleged success story. That is Amanda. I also reacted to calls of hers. She has a gazillion children at home. No shame there, but a very similar situation. If I can find it, I will link it up here as well. The opportunity calls this woman does are insanity, because she consistently has to cater to kids while she's on calls. How is that time freedom? How is that something I would want to do? Not for the life of me. If I'm not able to focus on work or on my children, then that's not a great opportunity. And that is the success story she mentions. We will see. Now that I'm filming this video, it is mid-April, and the huns now finally have to start and sell products in Germany and Belgium. And we will very likely see how quickly they fall off again. I'm excited for that. More updates to come, by the way.
Kelly says, what kind of events? Honestly, an event could be 3 people, bagels, and coffee. But I'll let Julie answer that. What kind of events, Julie?
the buttons here. Sorry, my computer wouldn't let me log into Google, so I'm using my phone. We would mostly think of mostly wine and washes. About 95% were all wine and washes, or wash parties, whatever you want to call them. We had different names for a lot of them.
Get them drunk and then get them to sign up. Wow.
Taco Tuesday, Margarita Monday. You guys, we thought of everything. Coffee, dates. But the most successful and the funnest ones we had were washing hair.
Is that the success of Monat? The early market partners just got bitches drunk and then get them to sign up? Margarita Monday, wine and wash, Wild Wednesday, Tequila Tuesday. That's what it sounds like to me.
And I think it was because we got to like demo the product, and that's the biggest thing. Like if I'm walking down there's this place in Las Vegas. You guys have probably bought soap from there because it's a big, huge soap place and it's really pretty and it smells good, but they invite you to come wash your hands. Okay, you're in Vegas. Yeah, of course. But because you demo it right there, I bought like $500 worth of product. And every month since then, I bought like $300 worth of product from that one hand washing. So think about that with Monat. You wash their hair one time and you guys, it's hard work. You're washing hair, you're blow drying. I remember the last time I did a wine and wash, which was last year, and it's too long for me. I need to have another one, but my arms were so sore and so tired. And I was just like, this is a lot of work. And I just remember I remember those feelings when I was making money and just feeling like, okay, I worked hard for that one. And it really does pay off. Demoing the product really does. So I think that's my favorite. Another event is a car presentation. Cadillac presentations, have those. You can also do little. We did Super Saturdays. You can call them whatever you want, but get everyone together in a living room setting or even a bigger room setting and just do a little training get together where you can just kind of cover some things and questions that people might have. And yeah, those are my favorites.
How many events did you have, Julie, or your girls have where like no one showed up or one person showed up or 3 people showed up, and were they still effective? Like, I think they always are, but what's your thought?
Yeah, like somewhere in the first 1 to 3 events, it's a no-show. I would say 50% when I was really building, that was like 50% would have no shows or just family come. And that's okay. That's okay. You guys literally, I was like, if people are coming before the event. So how disappointed truly were you? Because if you're like, you got these good friends and they like, don't show up to your event, like that's like, what? You got to make the connections better. So then we go back to like, okay, who do you know? Start chatting with them, go take them out for coffee, say, I'm having this, I want to do an event in the next couple of weeks, but I want to do it when you guys are available. When are you free? That I would help people with the invite process. I would do it all. I would help them all. And then I'd be like, I will show up if you get, 10 to 20 people there. And some of them did, and some of them didn't. And most of them I didn't even have to fly to. But the cool thing is like, you're going to be taking care of your people personally for a little bit. But how many of you under Ivy Carnegie have I flown to go to a wine and wash with? Think about that. This is not forever. Okay. You guys are not going to be doing the hard stuff forever. You're starting a movement. So go do the wine and washes with your first, even level 1, level 2, whatever you need to. For me, I was just like, I just need some people. I don't care who it is. I will, let's go. Let's do this. We got to get some shampoo sales. I don't care who you are. Let's go. And it was typically between levels 1, 2, and 3, usually 4 sometimes. It just depends. Like typically level 4 never needed me because I had great leaders in between, But if there's nobody in between, I'd adopt them and I'd scoop them under my wing. I wouldn't say I'd jump on an airplane for someone who's throwing a wine and wash. No, I would jump on an airplane for someone who's already talked to people, got people signed up, and then they have like 1 or 2 market partners who are also inviting, and then you have about 15 to 20 people there. That's typically what would happen. And we would start the recruiting process as soon as I onboard them. I said, who's the 2 people you know? Get me on the phone with them tonight if you can. If you know them well enough, it should be today. Like really, honestly, if you're tight with them, because they're gonna be pissed if they find out you're doing this and you didn't tell them, right? So we need to act quick. And that's typically how I do my conversations. You guys, it was a rinse and repeat cycle. So I got good at it because it was so rhythmic. So that right there was just over and over and over. And I remember just a couple of times I'd look over at Josh and I'm like, I'm actually kind of good at this. It's the same stuff over and over. A 5th grader could do it, truly.
So good. And something that she said, you guys, was that 50% of the first, second, or third of their wash parties or little get-togethers had no shows. You guys, it happens. It's going to happen. I think your very first one is more about building confidence in you as the leader, as the market partner, stepping out and doing it, learning how to invite, learning what works and what doesn't work. No. Learning what works, learning what doesn't work is so important. And that's a step that you have to take that only you can take to then teach your girls how to do it. And I love hearing that, Julie, because it's true. I have girls all the time who have watch parties and, it's their mom and their sister or their mom and their mother-in-law or whoever. But you guys, that's still 2 people. And guess what? Those people still wash their hair.
Her Wi-Fi is awesome. So that's the leader I'm learning from. Somebody who wants to sell me the most amazing shampoo but consistently wears a hat, is in her closet, has children around her all the time and cannot focus on one thing because she doesn't have true time freedom. And then she has wonky internet. Sign me up.
Amelia says, how do you keep morale with the team when no one shows? They get so discouraged.
I just tell them it's part of business. It's part of business, y'all. Like literally, if someone comes to the bar and they don't order food, they only order drinks. It's like, oh, you didn't get as much sales. I kind of look at it the same way. I might get them eventually. Like it's sales. It is sales. You're just gonna have to deal with it. You got to get used to like the disappointments. Like get really comfortable like doing the process and don't get attached to the outcome. Just do the process. Of course, you want to measure it. I do want to say this: when you guys are doing the events, if you stick with like we have a Power to Succeed presentation, Ivy probably has it too. It's in the onboarding site, the campsite. It's at the bottom. Use that if you're doing a presentation in front of a group of people, just even a handful of people, or a coffee date. The reason why is because someone might be sitting there thinking, oh, wow, that looks pretty easy. I bet I could do that. I got like 12 girls that I could invite right now. And they'll start literally thinking about this themselves. And then you're going to open up the invitation at the end of the party saying, if anyone wants to do this, you guys want to throw a party, I will be there. It's going to be so fun. I'll even bring a bottle of wine, cheese, whatever they like,
Yeah, wine. I'm telling you, they're just getting all the women drunk, and that's why they sign up. It's about the booze. I strongly believe that now. It's just about the booze.
If it's chocolate, bring the chocolate. If they're vegan, bring vegan food. If they're
I would be there for the cheese. Well, I wouldn't, but I would prefer the cheese over booze or chocolate or vegan stuff.
gluten-free, bring them gluten-free food. Whatever it is, appetize them, and then offer to come and show up and then do the presentation for them unless they want to do it themselves. You never know who's like, yeah, I want to do it. And then other people are like, I could never do this. So you just offer. And if you aren't good at something, recruit that. Like you're a puzzle piece. You're not the puzzle. You're a puzzle piece. So you're going to go recruit the other puzzle pieces for your team. If you don't like to speak in front of people, sign someone up who does. It'll help a lot. If you're not a hairdresser, you know nothing about hair, and you had a pixie cut like I did when I started, like a pixie cut, you guys, I still have short hair. You guys, I still have so much shampoo.
If you don't know what to do, just recruit somebody who has those talents. No shitting, Sherlock. Just recruit. Oh, okay. So that's the magic to success. Just recruit. Thanks, Julie.
With this little bitty hair, I recruited hairstylists. I was like, that would be an asset. I'm going to recruit hairstylists. They know what they're talking about. And I learned from them a lot. And I taught them what I could about the business and how they could make money in it and do things that were duplicatable in our industry. Because these hairdressers have never been taught that. They may even teach extensions to other hairdressers and they never get paid after that first class ever again. So yeah.
Okay, last question is, you talked about in the beginning of the call that, when you first joined, you invited your 5 broke friends. You reached out to your 5 broke friends. Was it hard for you when you really started to grow in this business and, run fast and stay focused? Was it hard for you with your regular peers at that time? Did that all?
I mean, it didn't make things like awkward because like I always told everyone like may or may not be for you, but I want to do it with you. Like you can tell me no. That's cool. I'm going to go to the top and be freaking rich. So, I mean, like, that's where I'm going. Like, it's going to take a lot. You guys, I can't drag people into this because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. I got my own backpack to carry. I cannot carry anyone across the finish line. So I've met some people outside of network marketing where I'm just like, dude, I can just see you doing this and never doing what I do. And I totally respect that. And that's cool. We need other people who are not doing network marketing, right? They'll be our VIPs. They still need good hair. That's okay.
Yeah, that makes this totally not awkward. If I cannot recruit you, at least become a VIP of mine. I'm getting to the top. I'm getting rich. If you don't want that, that's completely fine. We need people who are not scammers. That's completely okay. That doesn't mean I disrespect you. It just means you have a different lifestyle. I'm rich. You're not. How is that not awkward? How is that not awkward when you always have to fear that somebody will want to sell you more or sell you on the business opportunity, although they claim they don't want to? I don't believe you. You're predatory. You will take every chance, every weak moment of mine, every time I say something about my life that I might not like. Well, I might have something for you. No, you don't. Shut up. Well, that's completely fine. If you don't want to scam people for a living, that's perfectly fine. But I will remind you every single time you complain about something that there might be an alternative.
It does get harder. It gets hard in the beginning, I would say the most for a lot of people because people don't believe you. They don't know you're fully committed. And then over time, they think that you're just still like looking for the same people. So you got to prove them wrong that you're not. You got to go get new people. And that always made my existing friends be like, what are you doing? Like, hello. You know what I'm saying? They're like, I thought I was your only one. You wanted to sign up. You're like, no, dude, I got 20 others this month. Like, what's up? You know, so it's kind of just like, I'm going to go my way, and, you know, like everyone's got their own path. And typically, like, you just gotta, you're only going to make it awkward between you and your peers if you do it on purpose. You know, like, don't make it awkward. Just make it professional.
What's your tip? Just don't make it awkward. If your friends are that easily confused because you stop trying to pitch them, stop trying to recruit them, and that's when they question what is going on, how insecure of a friend circle do you have? I wanted to sell you my MLM products, but now I sold to a couple of other people, and they're now not just my VIPs, they're my recruits. How insecure do you or do your friends have to be to question that? That is such a wild and awkward community to me. It is awkward, okay? This is awkward. And I love it. It's like watching a really bad horror movie, like Zombieba. The English title would very likely be Zombeaver, where humans turn into beavers. Zombeavers. It's awesome. Or Swamp Shark. Yes, there could be a shark in the swamp. Or Avalanche Shark. Yeah, they could also be in snow. It's completely legitimate. I love those. Those are horribly bad. Those are done really, really badly, and I love watching these. And those team calls are my equivalent to horror movies, to be horror movies. I unapologetically love them. This is my version of Swamp Shark. If you haven't seen Swamp Shark, watch it. If you're 16 and older, thank you.
It's okay. You know how many real estate agent friends I have? You know how, like, they all would love to probably fight over me? I go with the best. I go with the one who's getting my stuff done, not my friend.
So it's so true. I go with the best. So you guys that are on here, if you want to be that shampoo chick, if you want to be the girl that's making $17 million, go be the best, because you're going to attract the Julie Stevens. Go be the girl that's going to events, having events, doing all the things, because that's who you're going to attract. Be the leader that you wish that you had. Be in the team that you want to be in. Create that atmosphere, you guys. Do the events. Like, there's nothing that is replaceable for events. Yes, we have Zoom, thankfully, especially as we are growing globally, we need Zoom. But nothing beats getting in proximity to people, truly. Meeting your local team. You okay?
And I also want to invite anyone. I know some of you guys are out of country and this is not feasible for you at all, and I wouldn't probably recommend it for this small event, but I'm doing a Super Saturday in Denver, May 17th. So
Yeah, let me go to Denver on Saturday.
But it's gonna be close to the airport, in and out. And we'll do like 5 hours. We'll do some photo shoots and some content around it. But yeah, it'll be just like a lot of Q&A and a lot of personal training if anyone wants to come in. If I don't get enough RSVPs, we're gonna push it out 2 more months. So we'll just see, because it's really short notice.
Well, I know some girls in Denver that I'll definitely be forwarding the information to. But thank you so much for your time, Julie. I know my team loves it. There's so much happening, you guys. We are on a new wave up. I don't know if you feel like that, Julie, but there's just a whole new level of excitement with stuff coming, Monations, like Germany launching, Belgium launching. It's just amazing. So thank you for your time, Julie. We appreciate it. And yeah, we love you. We're grateful for you. Thanks for sharing the heart, especially.
I do.
Bye, Julie.
You have
Well, that was awesome. As awesome as Avalanche Shark and Swamp Shark and Zombeaver. In German, we say Zombieba. I love these calls. We're throwing around numbers, trying to incentivize people to work harder, because if I can do it, although I was one of the first market partners and I joined in pre-launch phase, you can do it as well. And don't tell anyone, but within 1 month, I was able to make $300,000. And when I was at the Cadillac rank, I made $20,000 a month. And now, people on average make $20,000 at that rank in a year, before taxes and before expenses. Thank you for admitting that Monat is drowning. Let me know your thoughts about this call. Would you want to be taught by a leader who is consistently in her closet, wearing hats all the time, catering to her 300 children who are consistently around her? She doesn't have time freedom. Her Wi-Fi is wonky. Her camera is consistently falling. Well, maybe somebody shouldn't complain because it is working. I just need to charge it. And I filmed 6 videos. This is like the 6th video today, so stop it, all right? I'm doing the best I can. This is not my job. And I'm not a multi-million-dollar scammer. This was awesome. Like I said, I love these types of calls. Thank you for sending that my way. If you have other calls you would like for me to take a look at or react to, I would love to take a look. It's always great. They're so weird. And they are so eye-opening because it's obvious that Monat is not doing well. Let's see how Monat continues. Let's see about the next income disclosure statement. I hope that they will release that one soon. It might be a members video because that was also a request there that I might react to that and walk you through the income disclosure statement, so stay tuned. If you might be interested in that and you want to become a member, the link is always down below. So are my contact details. If you have any content you would like to share with me, anything you would like for me to react to, everything is always linked down below. Thank you for your support. Thank you for watching these videos. If you liked this video, then please subscribe. That way you don't miss out on the next videos. And if you liked this video, then hopefully I will see you in my next one. Until then, cheers!